Hey guys, it's Grace from Graceful Books, and I am back with another video. So I'm sorry, I look like utter crap because I was not planning on filming today. But I went on Twitter and I saw that Zoe from Read by Zoe posted, and she announced, well, no, she didn't announce, she talked about her readathon. And I completely forgot that the 24-hour readathon thing was going on this weekend. But I want to participate in it, and I'm so sorry. I'm not good at filming with my camera. So I don't know. This is going to be really shaky footage, and I'm really sorry about that. Also, I have alcohol in me. I'm 22, so it's legal, just so you know. It's totally legal. So I don't know if this is really going to be that good, but it's not even midnight yet. It's a little after 10 p.m. on March 29th. So I'm not starting the readathon yet. And this is very sporadic and like random. I wasn't planning on doing this at all. But I want to get some books finished before March ends. So I feel like this would be a real kick in the butt and would help me do that. So I'm going to do it. Even though I have a lot of things that I need to do this weekend. But sacrifices. Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to do a TBR. That's why I started this. Okay. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Illuminae. I am almost done with this, so this one is probably going to be finished by 1 a.m. tomorrow. And then the next one is Pets on the Couch, which I'm like 70% done with this, so hopefully this one should go pretty quickly. And then I also have like a nostalgia read. I used to read I used to read R.L.Stine a lot growing up. Holy crap, I'm so sorry about the burping. I used to read R.L.Stine all the time growing up, and I just happened to find this in a random box because I was spring cleaning and like reorganizing my room and my shelf, which, look at it! Okay, anyways. So this is a nostalgia read. It's very short, so I should be able to get through it really quickly. But also, I get scared really easily by stupid stuff. So odds are this might take longer than I think it would take, but we'll see. Also, I'm trying to catch up on my writing, so that might impede my finishing skills. But you know what? We're going to try to finish these 3 books before March ends and during this readathon, because Lord knows I'm super slow at reading, so like I can't start one of the big chunky boys that I brought home with me. So we're just gonna do it. Also, you can tell how old this is because the pages are yellowing. This came out in 2000, the year 2000. Like the year 2000. Did it come out in the year 2000? I might be talking out my butt, but it's an old book and you can tell because the pages are yellowing. Anyways, I took way too long to do that TBR. I didn't even describe any of the books. So it is currently 12:04 a.m. and I'm going to read some of Illuminae. And then when I pass out, I'm going to pass out. Like, I don't attempt to stay up all night during these readathons, just because I know I can't, because I'm old. So, yeah. I'm going to read as far as I can in this, and then I'll probably film some stuff tomorrow morning after I wake up and tell you how far I got in that, and then yeah, and also tell you how much sleep I got and how much time was wasted. But I have not been sleeping well, so if I sleep a lot tonight, kudos to me, because I need it. I filmed this whole thing, and then I realized there was something in the background that should not have been in the background, and I was like, can't have that. So I'm refilming it. Anyways, it is 8:53 a.m. and I went to sleep around 8:30, and So, yeah, I did not go to sleep at 8:30. I woke up at 8:30, and I managed to finish Illuminate. So yeah. If I am recalling correctly, I think I was like 520 pages in or 530 pages in, and there's like 599 pages total in this. So I read about 60, 70 pages last night before I crashed, and I slept a total of 7 hours, uh, which is good because I needed that. But I also am hoping that I sleep way more tomorrow. But you know, my body hates me. I don't want to say too much about this just because I want to talk about it at the very end of this video. I want to share my thoughts at the very end of this video. And I don't know why I'm doing weird voices. But I'm going to do it. Okay, cut it out. Okay. So the next book I'm gonna try finishing is Pets on the Couch, which is on my desk back there. I don't know if you can see it. It's on my bed. That's not right. It's on my desk back there, and I am going to try to finish that because it takes me so long to read nonfiction, and I have been reading that one for months. And I want to move on to another animal behavior book, so I want to finish that like ASAP. So I'm going to do that today. And then at some point, hopefully, I'll pick up Nightmare Hours and speed through that. Depends. I saw one of the short stories in there, and it was Alien Candy. And by the way, I didn't give you guys any of the descriptions. Pets on the Couch is basically a psychology animal behavior book. It talks about a lot of mental health issues that also appear in animals, like ADHD, what are Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that. Things that people normally associate with humans, but also actually show up in animals. The book is about that and how you go about treating them, typically by medical means, but it also kind of goes through the fact that some therapies work too. It's a really interesting nonfiction book, if you ask me, but that's just because it's in my realm of interests and it's what I want to do with my life. So, and The Nightmare Hour is literally 10 short stories written by R.L.Stine, and they were like his newest thing at the time. So I remember reading that. But I flipped through it and I saw the word Alien Candy, and I used to be like a big R.L.Stine stan. I read a lot of his like Goosebumps stories. And when The Nightmare Hour came out, I was like, this is the adult stuff. This is what the big kids would read. I am so cool for reading this. I also used to read all those scary stories, which I guess is being turned into a movie, which I would not watch because honestly, I'm still like, I still hate the song "Oh Susanna." I'm pretty sure that's the song that is sung in one of those stories, and I was like crazy. And I know I saw that big bulgy thing. I know what comes out of that. You can't fool me. I know what comes out of that. I remember. This just tells you how, like, I was so into scary stories when I was younger, and now that I'm older, like, I don't read them. And anyway, I'm getting so off topic. I was talking about Alien Candy. I saw Alien Candy in there, and I freaking know that one. Because I remember watching, like, the Haunting Hour episode on that. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the other show, The Haunting Hour. It was like Goosebumps and then The Haunting Hour or something like that. I know I saw an episode for Alien Candy and it was gross and I'm scared to read it. But you know, I did this to myself. Just gonna have to deal with it. And if I end up finishing those, odds are I'm gonna start either the Cruel Prince, not the Captive Prince. You can't even see my Captive Prince trilogy on my shelf. It's right there. Renegade's blocking it. Okay, anyways. I'm either going to start The Cruel Prince or A Curse so Dark and Lonely, just because that is the April pick for this new book club I'm in called Page Turner's Book Club. I'm so happy. I've been wanting to join a book club in like forever, so I'm happy to finally be a part of one. Okay, yeah, so I've rambled way long enough. So it is currently 11 a.m. It took me forever to decide what I wanted to eat for breakfast. And then I decided to make gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate chip waffles. So it took me some time to figure out the griddle because I've never used it for waffles. I've only used it for grilling turkey burgers, and I've never made waffles myself. So that was an experience, especially since I have to eat gluten-free and dairy-free. It was an experience. But they came out so good. And then on top of that, I ended up hitting a follower milestone on one of my accounts. So I ended up reblogging some writing starters. So now I have like a bunch of writing requests, and I do want to get to work on some of those, but I will try to read as much as possible in between those writing spurts. Like, I'm going to see if I can do 30 minutes of writing and 30 minutes of reading and see how that goes. Hopefully, I might do an hour of writing and an hour of reading to make it better, because I'm very slow at reading, so I don't want to be like taking too much time, you know. We're gonna work with this. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. I'm dying. Okay. I wasted so much time making breakfast and watching The Office and just lollygagging. I need to go to work on writing. So I just read for about an hour, and I got through at least 2 or 3 chapters in this. The chapters are pretty short just because it's kind of going over simple things. So I finished the chapter on ADHD, got through the chapter on sleeping disorders, and am halfway through the hypo and hyperthyroidism chapters, which is like honestly really interesting. I am almost done with this book. I know it looks like I'm not, but a lot of these ending pages are references and resources for research if I need them. So yeah, this book is almost finished, so I should be able to finish it by the end of today. Honestly, I don't know. I know that not everyone's going to find this stuff interesting, but I find it really interesting, especially when you think about how if a lot of people read books like this, a lot of euthanasia of the animals would not be happening, because the hyperthyroid chapter and the hypothyroidism chapter like just completely opened my eyes to certain aggressions in dogs. Like, I plan on working with dogs, or I'm hoping to work with dogs when I graduate from college, and I'm hoping to work with cats too. But like, so I guess hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism can lead to aggression in both dogs and cats. And I guess it's a bit of an anomaly, like it's a big debated thing, because he's kind of talking about borderline hyper or hypothyroidism. Sorry, I keep saying the wrong word. Borderline hypothyroidism, which is still like a very debated topic. I mean, this was written in 2016, so I don't know if it's still debated, but I guess a lot of veterinarians don't take it seriously, or they don't really see it as an issue. However, through his experiments and some of his treatments, he's been able to show that if you start treating the dog with drugs that you would give them if they had hypothyroidism, and they have borderline hypothyroidism, the aggression or certain behaviors start to diminish and go away, which I think is really interesting. Like, I don't know, for me, I think that's really interesting. Also, there was a YouTube video talked about in this, and I'm going to go and watch it because I kind of want to see what, it's not a narcoleptic episode, it's a REM disorder, behavior disorder that showed up in a dog, and he gave the link in here, so I'm going to go watch that, and while I'm watching that, I'm going to make lunch, and then I'm going to write and hopefully finish this at some point. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. This is just like, this is very much my interest area, so if you guys have any interest in learning about, okay, I think my main reason why I like this is that it kind of talks about one medicine, which is something that my school is very supportive of. And one medicine is basically like, if you find a treatment for a certain disease in animals, you can use that same treatment on humans and it'll help them, and vice versa. If there's something going on with humans, you can find a way to treat that, and then you can also use that to treat animals. It's very interesting and cool, and I just like the concept of one medicine because I think it can open doors and really take care of a lot of health problems that are very present in humans and animals. And you know, I really find it interesting. I find it interesting that there's a correlation between the human psychology and the animal psychology and just the disorders that we all suffer from. I just think it's really interesting. So yeah. And also, I feel like if people were more informed about these things, a lot of animal euthanization would not be happening. I'm not an expert, by the way. Like, just throwing that out there. I'm not going to be able to catch like everything or anything like that. I just find it really interesting, and I do want to get better equipped to handle these things and maybe give other people advice so they don't have to euthanize their pets, you know, just a thing. But yeah, I'm going to make lunch, watch the YouTube video that was talked about in this, and probably write another request. And yeah, okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. So I just realized I completely forgot to tell you guys that that Zoe said there is actually a theme for this readathon, and that is gratitude. So I completely forgot to mention that. But basically, I volunteered yesterday at an animal shelter earlier in the day. Even though I wasn't planning on doing this, I tend to volunteer throughout the year at different places. Hopefully this summer I'll be volunteering at a nursing home along with the usual shelter that I volunteer with. And then right now I'm volunteering at another animal shelter for a senior project and senior study. However, I am still volunteering there, so I think it kind of works. And then like on top of that, I just posted on my Twitter asking people to send me videos so I can watch some of their videos and comment on them and spread some good vibes. So hopefully, because honestly, I feel like a lot of, there's so many booktubers out there who are losing their drive and all this stuff, and I think it's because their content isn't appreciated. And honestly, I've been there, so I completely understand it, and it's kind of a sucky feeling. I know that's a really stupid word, but it honestly is. I've tried quitting booktube at least 2 times in the past because I felt inadequate, or I felt like nobody cared if I posted, and I'm trying to get into the habit of being more communicative with the booktube community. And I know that it may not seem like such a big deal, but honestly, comments, people talking to you in the comments, it makes you feel good. And I get super excited anytime someone comments on my videos and we have a discussion in the comments. Like recently, someone and I just literally had a whole long conversation about the Captive Prince trilogy. And it was so refreshing, and it was so much fun, and it was so enjoyable, and I'm so grateful to that person Like, honestly, I feel like there's not enough going on with these smaller booktubers. I feel like a lot of people aren't getting the attention and the comments that they deserve. So that's going to be my little way of being gratuitous. Is that the right word? It's probably not. But that's going to be my way of showing gratitude towards the booktube community and smaller booktubers like me. So yeah, I'm hoping that covers the gratitude aspect of this, but also I genuinely have not watched booktube in so long and I'm trying to get back into the swing of it. I feel like I haven't been watching any of the newer people that I subscribe to, which I need to get into so I can start talking to them and conversing and making new friends. You know, I just need to get more into it. And yeah, also I'm having curry with some rice right now, so yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to put that out there, that I did volunteer yesterday. So there's that, and then I'm hoping to show some gratitude towards booktubers today, if people will let me. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I completely forgot that gratitude was part of the thing, and yeah, but I feel stupid saying that. That probably makes it seem like really disingenuous, but honestly, it's not. I genuinely want to support smaller booktubers because really, I know what it's like. I'm still a small booktuber, and I've been on this community for like 3 years, and I'm still a small booktuber. Like, it honestly, it rags on you. It honestly sucks to barely get any comments and like all this stuff. And it's not that I'm not grateful. I am. I genuinely am. I'm grateful for anyone who comments on my videos. And I'm grateful for all the subscribers I have. I genuinely am. But it honestly, after you've done this for 3 years and you have like 0 channel growth, it starts to rag on you and you start to feel very inadequate. And I don't want other smaller booktubers to feel that way. So I want to be like as supportive and kind as I possibly can be. And hopefully from today onwards, I will continue to do that. And hopefully it'll help people want to continue being part of the booktube community, because honestly, it sucks not. Because the booktube community is honestly fun, but honestly, when you're on the smaller side, it can be a little upsetting sometimes, but also, you know. Also, that's not a rag on the bigger booktubers. Like, I have nothing against them. That's just me saying that it sometimes sucks to be a smaller booktuber, especially when you put so much effort into videos and producing content and it rarely ever gets acknowledged. It can really do a number on your confidence, and I don't want people feeling like that. So I'm going to do my best today to watch some booktube videos and comment on them and hopefully make someone's day a little bit better and let them know that their videos are being watched and their personalities are being loved. So I just finished Pets on the Couch by Nicholas Dodman. I think I had less than 100 pages. No, did I? Yeah, I had less than 100 pages left in this to read when I started it today, and I have just now finished it. I'm not going to say too much about it. I will say, I'm sorry, I'm at a weird angle right now, so the lighting is going to be really bad. But I will say that I found this to be really informative, and I do plan on using it to further educate myself in the future and keep it on hand with me at all times so that I'm not completely clueless in certain situations. I just think it's a really interesting... Oh my gosh, they have an index at the back. I didn't even realize that. I'm just going to keep this on hand because honestly, I think it's really good. If you're a speciesist though, I would not suggest reading it just because it does compare humans and animals, and I know there's people who get offended by that, even though we're animals, you know. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so if you're a speciesist, don't pick this up. If you're a firm believer that humans are way above other animals, don't read it. But if you're willing to be open-minded, check it out and read it. I don't know. I really liked it. I know it's hard for people to rate nonfiction, but it's really informative. I learned a lot from reading this, and I do plan on using it in the future. So I'm happy that I picked it up and that I read it. And hopefully I'll be able to pick up future books by him, because honestly, I like learning about this stuff and I think it's very interesting. And it's also very important to the field that I am interested in going in. So yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna try to start The Haunting Hour by R.L.Stine. My foot looks really weird in the background there. But yeah, I'm going to try to start The Haunting Hour by R.L.Stine and see how far I get in that. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it because it's under 200 pages, so it should be speedy, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, bye. So, what time is it? It is currently 8 o'clock, basically, and I have finished reading The Nightmare Hour by R.L.Stine. Yay! Yay me! So in total, I have finished 3 books and only started and finished one of them, which, like, I'm happy about. I wouldn't have finished a big book anyways if I started it during this readathon because I suck at reading big books fast. Plus, I like to do a bunch of other things, and, like, most of my weekends consist of juggling all those things along with my responsibilities, so it's a little stressful. I ended up finishing this, and I enjoyed it for nostalgia's sake. It wasn't like a fantastic read or anything. I basically just read it because I remember being obsessed with R.L.Stine when I was younger, along with the scarier stories and more scary stories to tell in the dark, those types of books. I really want to get my hands on those because I think those are more my jam and would scare me a bit more now. This didn't scare me too much, but there were a couple of chapters or stories in it that gave me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, so it was enjoyable in that sense, and it was also nostalgic, so, like, I enjoy that, but I don't think it's something I would read often right now, so yeah. Oh, crap, I just hit my glasses. I don't know if I'm going to start another book. I'm looking into the audiobook for Orange is the New Black because it's in my library right now and I can, like, rent it right now if I wanted to, but I don't really know if I'm actually going to commit to that. Really depends on my mood. And I also have A Curse So Dark and Lonely with me right now, as well as The Cruel Prince. So I might start one of those. I'm not entirely sure right now. And my friends are blowing up my Kakao Talk. Okay, stop. Yeah, so I'm kind of in the mood just to watch stuff and stop chatting. Okay. I'm in the mood to just write right now and watch some stuff, and that's about it. But who knows? I might start something before I go to bed tonight. Who knows? We'll see. I'll update you guys later, and bye for now. I keep trying to film this wrap-up thing, and my stomach is acting up, but are we surprised? No. I don't understand why I still get shocked when my body's like, hey, Grace, screw you. Okay. I just made my hair. Okay, I need to calm down. Sorry, I had some avocado ice cream. Probably shouldn't have done that. So, I finished a total of 3 books and started 1 book during this readathon. No, I started 2 books during this readathon and finished 3. So, in actuality, I only read 1 book. Am I saying I'm a bad reader? No, but am I saying I'm a good reader? No. Can't argue with that sound logic. Oh my goodness, I look like Ace Ventura. Okay, sorry. Okay, focus. Okay, sorry. I need to, like, move on with this or else I'm gonna start burping and I'm gonna be really annoyed. Okay, so as I said, I read 3 books, started 2, finished 3, started and finished 1. None of that made sense, but we're gonna pretend like it did. So the first book I finished is Illuminae, which is the first book within the Illuminae Files trilogy, and it is written by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And this is a sci-fi, like, multimedia novel, book, whatever you want to call it. Instead of being, like, written like a typical story would be written, it's a compilation of transcripts, audio files, not like actual audio files, but transcripts of audio files, text messages, emails, diary entries, things like that, and also descriptions of surveillance footage. It is a sci-fi. I'm trying to find out like other genres you could describe it as, and I can't pull anything out of my head right now. I'm just gonna stick with sci-fi. It's sci-fi, and it honestly, we follow 2 main characters, Katie Grant and Ezra Mason. They're our main characters. We of course follow a bunch of different characters who are still pivotal and important to the story, but you know, I'm not gonna get into that. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I know that a lot of people had trouble just reading it like this. They had to listen to the audiobook, which I didn't have to do that. I actually was fine just reading it like this. I don't know. I think it mainly has to do with the fact that I found the whole concept of this trilogy to be really intriguing. So when I picked it up, I knew what I was getting into. So I wasn't caught off guard, and I wasn't maybe struggling with it. I don't. Long story short, I had no issue just reading it. Reading it. I, I'm having a moment. Okay, I'm just gonna say that I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. That's all I'm really gonna say. I literally don't know how to describe this book. Okay? I would highly just recommend going into it blind. Don't don't try to look into it. Just go into it blind. Just know that it may be hella confusing, and you gotta be prepared for that. So the next book I finished is Pets on the Couch by Nicholas Dodman, DMV. And this is a nonfiction book that I have been reading since August of 2018. So it's been a long buddy. It's been a long while. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. If you do not know what it's about, it basically focuses on One Health, or the idea of one medicine, which is basically the correlation between humans and animals, and how a lot of the health issues we face, they face, and a lot of health issues they face, we face, such as mental illness. This mainly focuses on mental illness, such as ADHD and depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD. It focuses on things like that, and it talks about how these mental illnesses present themselves within animals and how you can. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. How you can work on them. It basically talks about a lot of these psychological and neurological functions and neurotransmitters, things like that. And it also talks about the medicines that go along with them, and how a lot of the medicines you can use on your animals are ones that are typically used on humans. And it kind of just talks about how a lot of the treatments you can use on humans, you can use on animals. And a lot of the illnesses we suffer from, animals suffer from, and vice versa. And I picked this up just because it's in my main interest area, and I really found it to be incredibly informative, and I really enjoyed reading it. However, I will say sometimes I felt like it dragged on a little bit too much, and it just went on little tangents that I was like, okay, can you shut up, please? But for the most part, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm definitely keeping this on my shelf because I'm definitely going to use it in my career. So, yeah. The next book is the only one that I read fully, and that is Nightmare Hour by R.L.Stine. This is a collection of 10 short stories, and it is middle grade horror. It is a collection of short stories. I picked this up mainly for nostalgia reasons, and honestly, it was nice getting back to one of my roots, which is R.L.Stine. I really enjoy R.L.Stine. I read a lot of Goosebumps growing up. I know mostly mentioned Nancy Drew because for the most part, if I wasn't reading Nancy Drew, I was reading this or The Magic Tree House or A to Z Mysteries. I just slapped myself in the face again. What the? Okay, I literally just read a lot of horror growing up. I read a lot of dark stories to tell in the dark, more dark stories to tell in the dark, things like that. I read a lot of horror growing up, and this is one of the main ones, and it was fun getting back into that. But of course, it's not as entrancing as it used to be for me when I was younger. I know this isn't meant for me because I'm an adult now, so I still enjoyed reading it though. It was really nice to be brought back to that time, simpler times when things weren't always hitting me in the face and I wasn't having all these stomach issues. Okay. Yeah, so I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars, which is not bad. So out of the 3 books that I finished during this, I gave 2 3 stars and 1 4 stars. And I also started The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I am not very far in this, and I don't even know what this book is about. I just know it has to deal with humans in a fairy world and a cruel prince. Also, I did not expect the naked art to be really pretty, but it's a look. Who am I?